Going off the grid will not bring you the peace you are searching for. It can point you in the right direction, but you alone can find that peace of mind. And it isn't through controlling some future outcome. It isn't about trying to reconcile the past and justifying things and trying to see a million different perspectives of how certain things played out in your life. That will not bring you peace. The past is gone. The future does not exist. And we are in a world of distraction. Distraction is one of the primary causes of today's suffering. And going offline alone won't give you the tools to transcend suffering. Rather, it will make you bored. And with that boredom, you could transmute that into self-actualization, or you will turn back to technology. And the only way to transcend that boredom is to forget about everything outside of your awareness. Because when your psychic energy is placed onto some future outcome, or onto some desire, or onto something in the past, then your life force will be drained and you won't be fully here now. And yes, I went offline. I got a flip phone. That's what my last video was about. And it took me a minute to learn this. But if I was still using my other phone on a regular basis, it would have taken me a lot longer. So I think going offline is a shortcut to this lesson, but it's not the final destination until you realize that there is no final destination. It's kind of a paradox. So, yeah. So I'm reading this cool book. Let me grab it. Flow, right? The Psychology of Optimal Experience. And it basically initially talks about how you have to be challenged in your life in order to be fully present. But if you're too challenged, that will cause anxiety. So there's this graph. I'll see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, I think I got it. So this is probably inverted, but boredom right here, boredom. And then you got the flow state, and then you got anxiety. So if you're too challenged, you're going to be in a state of anxiety. If you're not challenged enough, you're going to be in a state of boredom. So it talks about that. And the thing is, today, most people are in a flow state, watching TV mindlessly or scrolling mindlessly, but they are not being challenged. So it's actually leading to more ignorance. And let's see here. Basically, what happens is when you get into a flow state, your sense of self kind of disintegrates. And that is actually one form of self-actualization that is being disrupted in today's day, because your brain is scattered in a million different directions. You got a text message or something, you got TikTok, you got people calling you when you're trying to live your life, or just interruptions in your day-to-day life. It's great to stay in touch with friends from your past, but it takes you out of where you are now. If you're constantly just FaceTiming people that are not in the same state. And we have these constant interruptions by technology in our day-to-day life. I'm not against watching TV, in moderation, but when it's if you have sustained attention, right? If you're watching a TV show, but not a million videos of a million 1-minute videos. That causes the fragmentation of the psyche, and that disrupts the flow state. So flow state today is not very common because of that. And flow state leads to self-actualization, basically. And a fulfilling life, which means a fulfilling life is not common today. Yes, like I said, going off the grid will not get you self-actualization, but it will give you the opportunity to, it'll give you more opportunities for self-actualization. So, what now, right? Well, to get in a flow state, usually it takes like over 40 minutes of doing a task. Like in the beginning, there can be some resistance. If you're playing an instrument or if you are trying to learn a new skill, because there is resistance against letting go and surrendering to the task at hand. Because in order to be fully surrendered to the task at hand, your ego has to dissolve. So this was happening to me because I recently started doing wedding photography, and I had to edit about 400 photos and go through like 2,000 photos and choose which photos I want to edit. And it takes hours. And honestly, in the beginning, I was resistant towards constantly deleting photos because I like editing photos, but having to go through them and delete photos, I was irritated. And then at some point within the process, like my sense of self dissolved and I was fully present in the task at hand. But it took at least 30, 40 minutes to get to that space. And with constant technological distractions, we aren't getting those. People's attention spans are just this short. And like people only have 10 minutes at a time that they're doing a specific task. And in 10 minutes, most of the time, you can't reach that flow state. So, yeah, those are some lessons I've been learning. Have a great day, guys. Goodbye.